She read a lot of things about me, but it was something that wasn't like something that I didn't want to focus on. Like she talked about the things about my dad, which was true. She was right about my dad, and then she was right about, my current spiritual situation. She was like, you have like a disconnect from God. Why? Why do you have a disconnect from God? Do you think that God is a punishing God? And I'm just like, well, I am aware that there are things that has happened to me, especially with my spirituality, but I'm still trying to be faithful. And I just felt like there was a lot of things that were incomplete. And so I eventually told her after the reading, I said, can you just please answer this one question? Like, I get that you don't want me to tell you anything like about my life, or I get that you don't want me to give you backstory, because there's a lot of mediums that don't want you to tell them anything. They just want you to be quiet and let them do the reading. But I really need to know. And so I told her the situation. I'm just like, I've astral projected, and I felt that there was a lot of density in this house. I'm just like, and then I was bombarded by an evil spirit. And I'm just like, who is the spirit, and what does it want, and how do I get rid of it? And I'm just like, that's all I wanted to know. And so all she did was giving me like resources to cleanse the house, which helped. But I still like wanted to know like what the spirit was and what did it want.
What do you have in your home? Do you have like tarot cards or something, or a Ouija board or something?
I have tarot cards, and she actually told me that when I leave my tarot cards out, the deck is still alive. Like I have to make sure that I close it, and I didn't know that. She's like, she said I needed to close the deck with crystals, like clear quartz crystals. And so ever since then, like I've kept my deck closed with these crystals, and I haven't noticed anything since then. Like after the cleanse, after the closed deck, I haven't noticed anything since then. But I didn't know. So there would be moments where I would leave my cards laying around because it takes me weeks. It takes me weeks to get through just one card. Like I try not to pull too many cards. There are cards that pertains to me personally, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done, like a lot of cleansing rituals that needs to be done. And there are times where I just don't finish or don't get through them, so I kind of just leave them off to the side. But I didn't know that this would bring like spirits in the house.
Dude, that's a wide open door. So who knows who was in there?
Wow.
That's like leaving a Ouija board open. That's the same thing. So literally any spirit passing by, any transient spirit passing by could come through. And so you don't know who. That could have been somebody's ancestor, or that could be
whoever it was foreign. I didn't know who it was. Even when the spirit entered, I didn't know who it was. It would not tell me who it was. Like even when I woke up from my mom's room because like some nail polish fell on the floor and it made a thump sound. I woke up, I looked at the nail polish. There was a spirit that got up from the bed. Like you could hear the sound of the bed. Something like got up from the bed. So someone was there. And I felt like I didn't control this astral projection thing when I experienced. Dude, get back on live. Like, what are you doing? What happened?
I think it booted us. It boots you off after a certain amount of time.
Okay. So what I was saying was, I'm talking about astral projection. I think my subconscious knew that something was wrong, but I personally, consciously wasn't paying enough attention. So I feel like my subconscious unlocked the astral projection. My subconscious actually started it. Like my spirit left the body. And so I floated into the living room and I was looking around and I couldn't really see everything because there was a part of me that was sleeping. I felt like the subconscious brought my conscious with it. Like just think of it as two people working together. But I felt that there was just so much density in the room. And I'm saying, there's just so much density in here. And this is my spirit saying this. My spirit literally said those exact words. There's just so much density. And I said Mom. It with so much sadness. That's your mom?
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, how's it going? I don't remember anything that happened after that. I don't remember what happened. Usually when I go into these astral projections, I utilize a lot of energy, tons of it. And I lose sleep. Like when you're astral projecting, you don't get any sleep because you're using power. And this is where your spirit temporarily leaves the body. It doesn't kill you. Like your spirit is still attached to this body. It's just your holographic image that's projecting from the body and can do things in this physical realm. So I felt like my subconscious wanted to show me that there's some dark things in the house and I need to take care of this as soon as possible. So I think in a way that was my higher self trying to protect me by showing me this. And that I can't just allow all of these dark spirits to just stay here because it could get worse. It could be detrimental for myself. It could be detrimental for my family and spiritual guides. So I had to cleanse.
Anytime you use those tarot cards, that opens that up. That opens that portal back up. And so while you have good intentions, something else can come in.
Do you think I should use the tarot cards at a different place, like at a library or something?
Well, I wouldn't want to introduce it to the library either, but
maybe a park or something.
Yeah, maybe somewhere, but even then, though, then you're at the whim of you're opening a portal at a park.
I'm not
you
going
don't
to
know what
use.
kind of spirits or anything are there.
I'm not going to use the tarot cards until I first get some insight. I'm still reading
Yeah,
about mediumship and I'm still reading about psychics, and it teaches you how to use protection. Like I'm reading this book by James Pry. Here, I'll show it to you. Hold on. Like I actually got books on this matter. It's called Ghosts Among Us. And he basically, so he talks about the introduction, how he started off as a psychic medium. He talks about growing up with ghosts leaving the body, astral projection. Ghost 101, the undead, the spirit world, everything is energy, how ghosts communicate, some ghost hunting, making contact, protection. He says that towards the end of the book, how to use protection. And an enlightened life, acknowledgments, and about the author. So I don't want to use tarot cards until I've read books about it, because these are
yeah,
people who have careers on this, who knows the ins and outs of the spirit world, who actually talks to the angels like face to face, like they actually hear their voices, like they actually have way more experience. Like I'm still new with all of this. So I mean, I think for me where I'm at is that I do have these gifts and I can speak to the spiritual realm, but there's a cost. There's a lot of trial and error because there's a lot of things that I don't know.
yeah.
So I put away the deck, even though the deck was so helpful for me, because I would pull like these cards that aligns with myself spiritually. Bye, Mom. Take care. And resolution. If we ever happen to experience the devil that's trying to pretend to be someone, I think the best way to go about doing this is to listen what they're saying and to see if whatever they're saying is aligning with what you truly believe in, to see if it really speaks to your heart and soul. Because if the devil wants to destroy your soul, the devil's not going to say things that's going to be of benefit to your heart and soul. So I guess pay attention to what it's saying, and then pay attention to the feeling too. Also pay attention to its energy field. Sometimes you can feel the dark energy, because sometimes, like say for example, if I was to see a reflection of myself and they're standing there and the energy doesn't resonate with my energy, then I know that that's not me. So pay attention to the energy, the magnetic field, the energy that they're perceiving to you. And also pay attention to the knowing, the clear knowing. You just really dig into your heart and you just know if they are who they say they are. And I feel like if you could just utilize all of those abilities, then I feel like the truth would come into play. So I think that that's like the resolution that I've come up with. What do you think, Holly? Is there like anything else you want to add to this?
I would mostly agree, except for the part with the that it something saying, if it's saying something good, it loves you, that is not necessarily something evil, because that's the trick of the deceiver. It very well could be something evil, and oftentimes it'll say things that, just as a human who wants to come in and ruin your life. I love you. You're the greatest thing in the world. Blah 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 blah. But then you get in there and find out they stole all your money, or they not.
Well,
They're
that's when
sleeping with
you
your
don't.
mom.
I feel like you don't use that ability separately. I feel like you have to use all of your abilities. I feel like all of those things has to come into play when you are talking to a dark entity. Like I'm not like, say for example, if this dark entity was to come to me and say I love you and everything, I'm not going to just take that and believe it. I'm going to have to really dig into this person to really see if they are who they say they are. I'm going to have to dig into their energy, read their energy. I'm going to have to really see if they truly resonate with my heart and soul, and then just listen to things that they say. Like they may say things that are beneficial to you, and they may say things that kind of conflicts or contradicts the things that you truly believe in. So, I mean, and I've had that case with me just in experience where I've had like the devil come to me in a different form and they tried to make me believe that God didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So I guess just consolidating everything, all of the four clairs, I feel like that will help you discern if this is the devil or not.
Jesus knows that you're looking at all these different things and you're studying all these different religions, and he's like, that's cool and all, but Jesus is telling me to tell you to make room for Jesus. Jesus is telling me to tell you to make room for Jesus. Jesus is telling me to tell you to make room for Jesus. You to make room for Jesus. You to make room for Jesus.